Alright everyone, welcome back to the third part tutorial, and this time we are going to continue with what we already been done. Okay, so as I told you before, at the end of the second part we are going to attach those locators to those pistons. Now, in order to do this, we first need to open the window hypergraph hierarchy. Okay, click on it once and then you will see this thing. Okay, so it's almost similar to the workshop, to the hypershade, but um, this one contain only not only most of the what we actually see in our scene. So um, all those um, all those parts are actually the polygons that we used in the scene, and those three are actually the both of the locators and the distance dimension in between them. Okay, so we need to group them. So in order to group them, you need to catch those two. Okay, the P cylinder and the P cylinder 4. Okay, P cylinder 3 and 4, and don't get confused. You only need to part them both to two different groups. So um, the the three with those green icons and the one with the red also. Okay, so these are one group and these are one group. Okay, so we are going to make those in one group. So catch only the upper ones and hold down the Alt key, okay, and press G. Okay, so that will group them together, as you can see, and we can give a name to this group. So you can choose polygons maybe. Okay, and now we are going to do the same, Alt and G for those, and give them a name. So the name for those will be rig. Okay, and then what we need to do is catch one of the locators over here. Okay, and we would like to connect it to this pivot over here. So shift select the pivot itself, which is actually the whole piston part, the upper piston part. So first the locator, then shift select the pivot and change the menu back to animation, and from the constraint tab choose point, but click on this little box over here and make sure that you click add. Okay, but also make sure that the maintain offset is set to nothing and the constraint axes are set to all. Okay, also about all the others, just make sure it's the same. Okay, and click add. Okay, so now we are going to do you can see that there is this mark over here added to those polygon group. Okay, so now we are going to do the same for this locator. Shift select this piston and constraint point, right, and add. So now if we will grab one of the locators like this one and move it like so, you can see it's all the pistons are actually moving together with the locator. Okay, so we are driving them using the locator itself. So I will undo those steps. Maybe I will zoom in so you can see it better, and maybe close the hierarchy hypergraph. So this is how it works. Okay, and we actually done with this suspension. It's actually build. Okay, everything works fine, and that's okay. Also, we can check the lower one. Okay, so you can see it's working. Now the next thing will be to actually create controls for those. Okay, so in order to create controls for those two locators, we are going to attach two locators to um, one of those one controller for this locator, and for the lower locator we are going to do something different. But first let's start with the upper locator. So from the for view, choose your front view, yeah, expand the front view and choose create EP curve tool, okay, and hold down your V key and start drawing using those cube units over here, the grid units. Okay, start to draw something like this. Okay, I will start. No, you know what? Don't hold down the V. Just start to paint. It should paint correctly, draw correctly as you choose. Okay, so try to figure out what I'm doing here. Oh, maybe I will undo this because this one is very small, and yeah, you should do it fast. Doesn't have to be that much. Okay, I'm not that good at this, but still, in order to teach you, this is what I have to do. I also didn't do this that good, so sorry about it, but okay. This will be the last point. Hit the enter key and we have something that looks like the arrows. So it's not really how it should look, but we can always control the vertices and change it, or maybe start drawing this all the way from scratch. Okay, so after you're done with it, bring it to object mode and make sure you go over modify for this and center the pivot. So now the pivot will be in the center of these 4 arrows. Okay, and we will go back over this here, and as you can see we need to like rotate it like so, 90 degrees. Okay, so it will, no, you know what, actually not, we have to only bring it over here, and we will use snap only to get to the same point over this thing that pop out from here. Okay, so hold down the V and point to here, and maybe we'll bring it near to it so it will be easier. Okay, let's see if it's centered. Okay, it's not accurate. Okay, and then you can actually pull this out using the move tool. So place it somewhere here so it will face the direction, but you will have you still have some space in between them. Okay, now we are going to create a wheel. Okay, so we are going to use simple polygon cylinder, rotate it 90 degrees, scale it like so, and scale it like so. So that will be the wheel. Okay, this will be the wheel, and we also need to snap it so the pivot will face correctly to this pivot. Okay, so hold down the V and try snap it over here. Now you need to practice on it if you didn't already use snap to point or something like this. Okay, so now I think it's there. Maybe I will move it. Maybe I will use the wireframes on this front view to see if it's there. Okay, so it's not really there. We should bring it down like so. And now if I will just in order to make sure it's there. Yeah, now I think it's there. Let's see. Yeah, nope, still not correctly where it should be. No, it's okay, never mind. Well, actually you do need to mind about this. You need to make this perfect. Okay, so move tool and maybe V and choose the middle one, then we'll know that we are centered. Now you can smooth it by adding more subdivision axes, and right now we are going to create another polygon cylinder. Okay, so create another polygon cylinder and bring it up like so, and then rotate this one also to the same direction, 90 degrees. Right, so I will use the channel box in order to fix this 90 degrees, and we want to make it almost at the size of this pivot of our piston, upper piston, so something like this. So this will be the chassis, our chassis. Yeah, so put it over here like so. You can adjust it, and now let's take a look from this view. Right click on it, choose vertices, and take only those vertices, including the other ones at the other side, and use the move tool to bring them up, and the scale tool to open it like so. Okay, so now we have a chassis. Alright, tap on F8 to bring it back to object mode, and we also can we need to actually snap it to the same center, but for now that's enough. The next thing is to create a cube. So create a cube and bring it somewhere here. Okay, and now we are going to maybe scale it a bit like so, and maybe maybe it's too much. Alright, and from this view, right click on it, choose vertices, and choose only those vertices. Okay, only those, and with the scale tool bring them like so. Okay, then right click again, choose face, choose this face and this face. Make sure you didn't select anything else except those two, and extrude them. Okay, so we are extruding them like so, right, and we will bring them inside using the scale tool like so, and we will extrude them again, and maybe use this thing over here. There is a controller over here that will allow you to do this maneuver. Okay, so that's nice. Again, extrude it, and again, because I'm trying to use the red one, so you can see I'm moving this one to this direction, but this one is going to the other direction. So therefore there is this controller. If you will click on this, you will get into world mode. Okay, so click on this and make sure you create something that looks something like this. Now we need to make sure that this part is actually snapped to this point over here. So at first what you should do is actually choose the move tool, okay, and hold down the V and point to this middle one. Alright, so I guess it's there. You can see the yellow arrow which is pointing over the same vertex point, so that's okay. Now from here, hold down the D key and bring this pivot of this don't remember how we call this, but whatever, just bring it somewhere here. Okay, so it should be something like this. Okay, yeah. Now another controller we have to create is for the wheel. So we are going over curve tab over here and choose to create a circle. So now I'm not using interactive creation, so I will have to click drag and release in order to create my circle, and then I will have to rotate it. So just need to make sure I rotate it right, so to this direction and 90 degrees. Okay, and place this curve somewhere here. Okay, but you have to snap the point again and hold down the V, snap to this point. Okay, try to look, this is half cut of this and it's not, so again hold down the V and try to adjust it. Also it's now even worse, so let's try do something like this. Choose this arrow for this axis and hold down the V and try to point it somewhere side. Okay, let's see where the pivots of this. The pivot is in this should be in the center, and therefore we are trying to snap this to the center, but in some way it doesn't want to be applied. So I'm a little bit confused here, but you can see maybe only if maybe I will try to be less aggressive with this, it will work. Alright, so just make sure it's in the center and then you can adjust it to here. That's enough. Now we need to make the connection between the controllers, okay, to our locators. So this is how we're going to do this. First we are going to take this control, shift, select only the locator here. Okay, only the locator again. Make sure you select only, shift select the locator. And now we want to do constrain and point, I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, point. Okay, so click on point and choose nothing, just yeah, this is something you need to know. If I will click on add, something very weird will happen with this. So I will click on add right now, and you see that our pistons are bent over to this controller, and this is not what we actually need. So I will undo that and go over back to the constraint, and those are both selected, still selected, so to the point, and make sure this time you do tick the maintain offset, okay, and click add. That way it will stay there, to stay where it should be. Now then choose the circle, shift select this locator and again point it to this locator, okay, and also maintain offset. Okay, so add. Now we need to create a connection between this locator to this one, okay, to this part. Now you can maybe bring it so it will meet our pivot. Okay, so first what you actually need to do, you need to catch this one, shift select this one, but this time constrain aim. Okay, and click the little box over here, and also maintain offset. Okay, and click yeah, I'm not sure about the Y. Okay, so let's try this, add, let's see what will happen right now if I will catch this. Okay, so you see that this is following the same direction that we take it. Okay, so this is okay. Now also the spring is reacting to the movement, so that's fine, but we need to actually attached also our wheel. Okay, so now we are going to the window, hypergraph hierarchy again, and now we have some more issues over here. So first of all, let's catch all the cubes, okay, together, all those polygons, and let's add them by holding down the middle key to this list. So that way we added this list to our polygons. Alright, now we have the curve. We should also create a new group from them. So Alt G to create a new group and name it as controllers. Okay, so you can click on here and controllers. Okay, now we need to connect the wheel, but in order to do this, what you should do is actually select first. Okay, let's see, we need to select this curve, circle curve, and the next thing is using the hypergraph hierarchy, we are going to choose this P cube. Okay, this is the P cube which is represent the wheel itself, and this thing is the connection that we create for it before. So we need actually to choose only the P cube. Now if you really want to know which one of those, just go over your wheel. Okay, first name it. The name for it is now P cylinder 7, so you can use it, but you can actually change it to wheel like so, and then it will appear as wheel here. Okay, so actually what you need to do is choose this controller, shift select the wheel, okay, and then go over constraint parent. Okay, let's look at this, and yeah, that's fine. No, sorry, don't do that, don't do that. Now I remember what the problem is. Okay, so we are catching the wheel first, and we are going to create a new group from this wheel, and I show you what I mean. If I will switch to rotate, okay, so if I will click now Alt and G, I will create a new rotate group. Okay, so look at this, it appears over here, and we need this group back over here in order to have two different steering kind of driving keys for this wheel. One will be for steering it, and the other one will be to rotate it. Okay, so that one will be for the steering. So we are going to hold down the D, okay, and bring the pivot over here, and then V key to attach it. Okay, so attach it, and let's take closer look. I will click on the V. No, it's not there. Okay, let's try. Alright, so now it's there. So now we actually have two kind of rotating wheels. Now, if we would take a look over here, then you will see the new group that we created. Okay, so now we can catch our steering control, okay, and catch our group 1, which is for the new group that we created. Okay, so shift click on this and you will see that we actually selected the wheel. Okay, now we are going to parent them, so constrain and click on this and parent. Alright, now we can actually steering it. Okay, show you, we can steer it, but we don't affect this. Okay, only when we will move it up and down it will get affected. Okay, but nothing will make this to change the move of it. Okay, never mind, I didn't really even understood it by myself, but I hope you did, because you are smarter than me and you have an idea, bigger minds and whatever. So that was the main idea of how to create this, and we need to do one last adjustment to our controllers. In most cases, when you are delivering to someone things like this one, like full model with all these things, the person who gets this doesn't really need to get access to most of those stuff. He actually need only the wait a second, I was about to sneeze and I thought to pause the video, and then sneeze didn't came out. I hate when it happens. Okay, so now as I told you, when you're delivering this to someone who is going to animate this whole structure, it doesn't need to have access for all of those parts. So basically, so you won't do any changes that could interfere the animating process. So you only need to use the controller. So what we are going to do first, we are going to choose this locator and juice locator, okay, and also the dimension, okay. Yeah, and no, you know what? Only the locators. Yeah, and also the dimension, and you can switch the visibility to off. So click on here and type 0, so it will off them. Okay, so the visibility set to off. Now this controller, okay, these all objects, okay, so I will open the hypergraph hierarchy and we'll choose this group. Okay, so actually what I did, I chose all the polygons here. Now we want to add them to a new layer. So right now from here, go over the channel box to display tab and click on this. Okay, select them and click on this. Okay, and then click twice on the layer, give it a name like poly whatever. Don't use polygons again because you already use this polygon's name, so only poly objects. Okay, like this. Set it to reference and save it. Now the last thing is actually Okay, so I will try to now you can see I unselect them, and actually I can't select them right now. So that way the person who is going to animate this won't do any changes to this whole model that we created, and that's good. Okay, now the next thing is to set also few other parameters for those. So we don't want to rotate this, and we don't want to scale this bone, okay, this pivot. So choose this one, control choose rotate, actually choose all of them, okay, rotate, rotate X, rotate Y, rotate Z, scale X, scale Y, scale Z, and the visibility, okay, and right click on them and choose lock and height selected. Okay, so now the person who is dealing with this controller won't do any harm to this pivot. Okay, he can only translate it to in which direction he prefer, but nothing more. He actually doesn't even really need to move it in this direction. So this direction is like the Z. So what you can do is also add the translate Z to this particular hide and lock section. And now for this one, we don't want it to scale any of those parameters that belongs to the wheel. So for the scales parameters and the visibility, also right click and lock and eye selected, and also we still want him to be able to rotate for steering, so this is the rotate Y. So therefore we don't need the rotate X, okay, but we do need to rotate it in this direction, okay, which is okay. This is the Z direction, and as far as I can see, something is not really working with it. So alright, okay, we just want to like moving it, steering it. So let's keep with this, continue, rotate X and rotate Z. Okay, alt click or control click in order to choose only those two, and lock and height selected, and then you will get only the steering thing. But we still want the translated thing, so don't do anything to those. Actually doesn't supposed to move that way, but if it's a jet plane or anything else, you probably want to move it. But I think this is almost the basics for this tutorial. All this hide and lock section is really depends on what you will do, so I really don't recommend you to hide them all or use them all. If you really care about what you already created, just keep another copy on your PC, and there you will know that you saved. So that's about it. I'm sorry for the laggy English of mine, and sometimes I have better days and sometimes I have sucked days, and I don't know, you will have to deal with it. As long as my tutorials are inform you and give you better idea or maybe better reference to other tutorials you saw, so I'm happy with that. So for now, I wish you a good day and nice day, and let me know maybe if you would like to see any other tutorials or if you have any questions. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed. meet you at the other next tutorial.